Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are doing a little witchy reading vlog because it's October, it's going to be Halloween soon, and I figured let's read some witchy books to get us in the Halloween spirit. So we're starting off, the dust jacket is currently off it, but we're starting off with Wayward by Amelia Hart. This book is following three women across, I think it's like 500 years nearly, and their stories, I guess. Okay, so we've got Kate in 2019 who is running away from an abusive partner. We've got Violet in 1942 who is, I think she's about 16 or so. She's very like looked down upon because she just wants to be running around in nature and spending time with all sorts of animals, insects, whatever. She's just very, what you would describe as like a tomboy, and has no interest in upper society. And then we've got Alpha in 1619 who is on trial for witchcraft. So I've already started reading this book. I'm on chapter 6, just 30 odd pages in, and so far I'm enjoying it. It was really, the sun's come out now, but it was really foggy this morning. It just fit the witchy vibe. I don't know, it really fit. Yeah, anyway, this is obviously the first book we started. Like I say, I'm about 30 pages in. We don't know much about Alpha's story yet. We just know that she's on trial. Kate and Violet. Violet, it says in the synopsis that, you know, something's gonna happen that alters her life forever. That hasn't happened yet. Whereas Kate's like obviously at the beginning of her journey of escaping from her abusive husband. So I'm intrigued so far, I have to say. So anyway, it is like, it's about 12 currently. I'm going with my dad's for Sunday lunch. So my brother's picking me up in about 10 minutes. I am going to take the book with me and see if I can get some read when I'm there. And then I will update you when I'm further into the book and I have more thoughts and I have more grasp on the plot. Okay, it's much later in the day now. I am up to part 2, which is like 140-ish pages in. In part 1, we've kind of had, there's been like storyline wise a little bit of a parallel between Violet and Kate, in that they're both learning about their families, things they didn't know before. There's a lot they didn't know, and they're trying to learn things. And then we've got Arthur, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I think it's Arthur. She is obviously on trial for being a witch in the 1600s. And it's all connected through family lines and what have you, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's all connected. But Arthur obviously is the person who knows things, and her chapters are significantly shorter than Kate and Violet's, and I think we're just getting snippets of Arthur's story that coincide with what we're learning about specifically Violet's mum, but Kate's wider family on that side. So it is interesting. We still don't actually technically know if they're witches. The word's thrown around a lot, but there's been no magic happening. There's been no, like, aside from them having an affinity for nature and animals, there's not really anything witchy, especially not with Kate. Kate, I don't know, Kate's not shown anything like that. So yeah, that's interesting. There has been a bit of a weird moment. Okay, with Violet, okay, her storyline takes place in the 1940s. Listen, I've watched Downton Abbey. Okay, we were all there when Mary married Cousin Matthew, and they call him Cousin Matthew. Mary has called him Cousin Matthew, but I think they were second cousins, so it's slightly less weird. Still weird, don't like it. Slightly less weird. This dude is fully Violet's full first cousin, and so I'm uncomfortable. It feels weird. The 40s feels like it wasn't that long ago. It was only 80 years ago. That's not that long ago for this to be okay. I don't like it. So I'm wondering if that is part of the reason why Violet ends up where she ended up. As far as we're aware, we don't have the full story yet. I feel like there's something like on my neck. It's horrible. I don't know. I feel like a weird feeling in my neck. So that's why I'm touching it. Yeah, we don't fully know what happened with Violet yet. We just know where she was when she died as an old lady. So I'm wondering if this is the situation that started that. I don't know. All I know is I'm uncomfortable. So yeah, I don't want to say too much, obviously. I've been really enjoying it. I've listened a little bit to the audiobook, and I've read most of it, but I have listened to a bit of the audiobook as well. And I enjoyed that. For, I can't pronounce her name again, I need to read it to see it. Altha. For Altha's point of view, it's funny. So she's from Cumbria, which is in the north. It's more northwest than northeast. And she kind of, the person who did the voice, put like it's not a Geordie accent. In my head I was like, oh my god, it's kind of a Geordie accent. It's not. It is a northern accent, and it had a slight Geordie specific twang to it, because obviously like people say Manchester's northern. I personally don't agree with it. Manchester's in the middle of the country. It's not northern. I'm a Geordie. That's northern. Okay? Manchester, not northern. I'll take York and Yorkshire. That's northern. It's not like a Yorkshire accent type northern. It is very much like a Geordie northern accent, but much softer. And I'm aware I don't really sound much like a Geordie, okay? Other people say I do, though. I don't think I sound very Geordie. Anyway, it had a Geordiness to it, but I know it wasn't quite right. So maybe it's more of a northwest accent. I don't know. But it's kind of nice that something's partly set in the north of England, because normally things are kind of like set in London. We rarely get books that are set in the north, so it's kind of nice to have part of it be there. Anyway, so that was quite nice. Anyway, from listening to her chapters, just like hearing a familiar accent, because again, I've never heard an audiobook with a northern English accent. Not Yorkshire northern, but like northern. Because again, Yorkshire is northern, don't get me wrong, but like I am further up north. Okay, I am much more north than York and Yorkshire as a whole. Yeah, when I was, I have so, like, okay, listen, completely unrelated. When I was at my dad's, so my friend Katie got a digital camera and she took it on a night out last night and took photos on it, and they ended up really good. And I had like a few months ago maybe, people come up on TikTok talking about their like old digital cameras that they used for really aesthetic like Y2K and 90s photos, and I was like, oh yeah, eventually I'll get one. Anyway, so then her taking these photos got me going down a rabbit hole, so I was looking on TikTok at digital cameras, and one of them is actually my old camera that I used to use for YouTube years ago. It's a Canon, I'll put it in here. The one she used on the photo was the one that the girl used on TikTok was a 740 and mine's a 730, but this is the one I use. But I wanted something with like less megapixels, because that one's a 20 megapixel camera. It's still really good, like really clear. I wanted something older, and I just so happened to be talking to my dad and brother about this when I went over for lunch today, and my dad was like, what about your old camera? And I was like, oh, the white one, which wasn't mine, it was my mum's. And he's like, no, the pink one. And I was like, you have that? And he was like, yeah, I've got it. Like, so he went and got it. For a minute he couldn't find it, and he's like, maybe I threw it away because you told me to, because I am not really very sentimental. If I don't use something, if I don't have use for something, I'll just be like, get rid of it. So, which makes no sense because I have so much stuff. My dad found, my dad had this whole time my old digital camera. This is a Panasonic Lumix DMC F3. It's a 12 megapixel camera. It is the cutest thing. Unfortunately, it has got, like, you can kind of see, yeah, it's got a few dead pixels, so there's like a bit of blackness on the screen, but it's fine because the camera does work, and the photos are fine. So I did actually take a photo today with Wayward and post it to Instagram. But yeah, this was so cool, and this is like what I wanted. This is like old, and it's pink. I forgot I had it, and then I was telling my mum about it, and she was like, isn't that the camera you won at school? And I was like, what are you on about? Because my mum has better memories of my life, especially my childhood, than I do. Like, my mum remembers more of my life than I do. It's really bad. Like I say, remember like a goldfish. It's not just books I don't remember, it's my own life I don't remember, okay? So she was telling me, and then I remembered as she was telling me. So when I was in like junior school, so I was in either year 5 or 6 maybe, because I remember sitting towards the back of the hall, and normally you would kind of go like year 3s, year 4s, year 5s, year 6, and I'm sure I was near the back. I could have been younger. I don't actually know how old I was when I got this camera. All I know is I got called to the front in assembly and given this camera as a prize for reading over the summer. It was like our local library did it with a few local schools. I think it was through the library of the town, not the library of like the school. And it was like if you'd read a certain amount or something, it was to do with reading and over the summer holidays. And I won a camera because of reading. And I would have been about 8, 9, 10 years old, somewhere around there. And I just think that's so cool. It's like such a full circle moment. I don't know. Anyway, this is really light as well. It's so tiny. It's like compared to this camera that I'm filming on, because the lens is fucking massive and the whole thing is boxy. Even my old camera, which is a Canon, it is a Canon PowerShot, I just can't remember which one. That one is so much lighter compared to this as well. But this is just like non-existent. So yeah, I can't wait to take really aesthetic photos. Me and my mum are going to Edinburgh on my birthday for a nice little day trip. We're going to go to that romance only bookstore. I'm going to get a Blank Street matcha, even though it'll be iced and it'll be cold, it's fine. And the Christmas markets are on, and I'm going to take aesthetic gothic photos of Edinburgh on this camera, and I'm so excited. So yeah, anyway, that's just a cute little thing from today. I'm going to get into bed and read some more before bed, and we'll catch up tomorrow with where we're at. I'm hoping, I have quite a few questions, I'm hoping I get some answers, so I'm looking forward to continuing the book and finishing it. I feel quite invested in the three girls' stories, especially Kate's. I don't know why, I just really like, I'm invested in all three of them for different reasons. I can't pronounce her name again because I've forgotten what it looks like. It's not a name I've ever seen before. I just simply don't know how to pronounce it once it goes up my brain. Alpha. Alpha I'm invested in because I'm like, does she get tried? Because I'm like, at this point, as far as I'm aware, she doesn't have a child. And she was an only child. So I'm like, does she not get tried? And then she has a kid at some point? Or does she already have a kid that we don't know about? Like, because how are we getting from Alpha to Violet? That's what I want to know. Like, we've got a couple hundred years in between there. And then I'm like, okay, well, with Violet, I want to know what happens. What is this thing that like blows her life up, essentially? And then with Kate, I'm like, is she going to be safe? Is everything okay? Like, is the town going to be weird with her? Because a couple of people have been really mean. Also, right, there was a scene. For those of you who don't know, I am a medical receptionist. Like, I work at a doctor's surgery. Well, I'm not really a receptionist anymore. My job role has really changed over the since I've been there, pretty much. But I work in a doctor's surgery as a general admin role. But a large part of my time there, I have been the person answering the phone, on the front desk, whatever, either or. I'm not going to get into the fact that, okay, the way people on like social media are like, oh my god, I'm sure my receptionist at my GPs wants me to die. Those really piss me off, because genuinely we are put in such a horrible position every time that we have to tell someone, I'm sorry, we have no appointments. Like, it's the worst part of my job and I hate it. And I'm very thankful that currently in my job, I don't have to do that. But like, because that's not my job role at the moment, but like, I can't tell you how much every morning I would dread having to tell people we have no appointments left. So like, my friend sends me these TikToks about these and I haven't told her. So Katie, if you're watching this, please don't send me those videos because they genuinely piss me off. Of people being like, oh, my medical receptionist is like, my GP receptionist is blah blah blah. Like, I need, just stop, because I don't think people understand. We are literally just the messengers. We have no power. We get all the abuse and we don't deserve it. So rant aside, yeah, there was a receptionist. She went to this doctor's surgery for a medical appointment, and the people, this is a small town that she's gone to. This is Kate in 2019. She like, so the people obviously feel a certain way about Violet, who is Kate's great aunt. Yeah. And so she asks for some information from the receptionist, which she gives to her, and then goes down the corridor to the toilet, but she overhears an old lady ask the receptionist, did she just ask for what I think she asked for, and then ask who she was. And the receptionist told her who she was, and they start having a little bitch about her. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is 2019. Patient confidentiality was still a thing in 2019. I was appalled. Like, you do not do that. Like, you simply do not give any sort of patient information to another patient. That really like pissed me off, just as a medical receptionist. Like, reading that triggered me because I'm like, absolutely not. No, no, absolutely not. Just no. That's my double rant about medical receptionists over. First of all, please be nice to us. We're really not the evil ones in your scenario. I understand it's hard not getting a GP appointment. Believe it or not, I have a GP as well. A different GP, not the one I work at, obviously. That would be weird. I also struggle to get appointments in my GP's. Quite a small one, so I'm not too bad. But like, I get the struggle, okay? Believe me. We also have to do the same thing with our own GPs. It's not the receptionist's fault. We have nothing against the patients. Please be nice to us. We get so much abuse. It's not even funny. Anyway, and also patient confidentiality. So they're my 2 rants over for the night. I'm gonna get into bed and read some more, and we'll pick up when I've got more to say about the book. I'm finished. That was really good. I'm genuinely, it's not quite got the 5-star feeling, so I think I'm gonna rate it a 4.5. This was just, there were so many moments of this that made me feel so much, like I felt so much anger, because a lot of this book is rooted in the history of women and how poorly women have been treated for so long, and to be honest still get treated so poorly, and the fact that currently the state of the world is really scary and depressing, and I try not to pay a whole lot of attention to it for my own mental health. But the fact that a lot of the things that happen in this book, like a lot of the views on women and the treatment of women, is kind of going back to that in various parts of the world, or it never stopped being that in various countries. But this was really good. It really showed the strength and the resilience of women. I just think it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I was so invested in all 3 women and where they'd end up, and I think I'm quite happy with where all 3 of them ended up, and especially the ending was quite hopeful, which I'm really glad at, because they were, all 3 of them went through so much, and like so many horrible experiences between the 3 of them, and I'm happy to think that they came out on the other side of it. As if they're real women, they're not, but like, do you know what I mean? Okay, that's the first book of the video done, and a good rating, a 4.5, very good rating. It's about 5:30 now. I don't know whether I'm gonna start the next book of the video, or I've been reading Little Women. I could have sworn something just moved in the porch from the corner of my eye there, but there wasn't. I've been reading Little Women all month, so I might read more of that tonight, watch some YouTube, have a nice cozy evening and start the next book tomorrow. We'll see, but I'll let you know what I decide to read when I have decided. I am so tired. I don't know why, this is the first time in 2.5 weeks that I've woken up before 7 this morning. Last night I went to bed with a thunderclap headache, and I've had, is it a thunderclap headache? Is that ice pick headache, not thunderclap. Thunderclap, completely different. I went to bed with an ice pick headache last night. If you don't know what that is, it's when you get like a sharp shooting pain. I don't know if it's specifically meant to be your temple or if it can be anywhere. I've had it before where I've had one random sharp shooting pain. Somewhere in my head, usually my temple, usually my right one. But it's like a random sudden shooting pain, goes, never comes back. Last night it was like consistent. I think what it was, and I feel so drained this morning. This is the thing, I don't come across as tired or drained necessarily in my output of energy when I speak and when I emote. I don't know why, it seems to be just this, I just mask it. I don't know why. It's really annoying to me, because then I feel like, do I even look believable right now? I'm telling you that I feel like shit, and I'm like, oh yeah, nah. Don't know why. Not a clue. Probably doesn't help because I'm expelling more energy by being, I don't know. Anyway, I did try to get a bit of exercise yesterday, and I did about 9,000 steps in total on my treadmill. I did 45 minutes on my treadmill yesterday. And now I feel like this, and I had a nice big headache last night, so safe to say, not ready yet to start trying exercise, which is not ideal. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Am I right? Okay. Anyway. Also, sorry, completely unrelated, but last night we had a massive announcement for the timeline of when this video is filmed. Dan and Phil announced Fan is real last night. Honestly, that video made me cry. I love them two so much, and I just wish the best for them. And I'm so happy for them. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, the book we've decided for today is Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. And I think because I feel like shit, I'm either going to read all of this today or less than 100 pages. I haven't decided. In between that, I'm reading Little Women. I've been reading it like all month so far, just like reading a chapter here and there. I think I read 2 last night. So I'm like, I'm on chapter 9. We're a good little thing in, so I might read the odd chapter in between. You know, the ice skates on the back are so cute. I'm sorry. This is a really cute edition. It's like a mini hardback. It's literally shorter than a regular paperback. It's so cute. Anyway, yeah, we're starting Payback's a Witch. I think this is a sapphic romance. It's giving the X-Hex, but gay. And I love the X-Hex. I might even reread it this year, just because it has the perfect Halloween spooky vibes, while being a rom-com. I'm only on chapter 6, which is page 60. Thoughts so far, this is really cringe. I really want to like this book because it's sapphic and witchy. But in all honesty, I'm tempted to DNF it because I don't know if it's just because the last few books I read, I read Diabound, that was a 5 stars, and then I read Bunny, and that one was a very different type of book. But I really enjoyed the storytelling and I was invested in what was going on. And then Wayward, again, very different to what I usually read, but I was really invested in what was going on and really enjoyed the writing. So the last 2 books I've read were both out of my comfort zone, but I've really enjoyed them both. This is just like a cheesy little rom-com, but it's so cringe, okay? Literally. So on the last page of chapter 5, they call the guy that they all dated at some point Prince of Bastards. Like, they called him Gareth Blackmore, Prince of Bastards. That was a bit cringe. And then she's like, I'm in witches, let's run amok. What is that? No one would say that. And then one of the girls called one of the other girls Angel Cake McSparkle Pony. There's just something about it, and then in the main character's point of view, something about her feels really cringe. Or just like, I don't really like her. Okay. It's on the synopsis. This girl, Emmy, she's left her hometown where she gets all her witchy powers, her whole family, her friends. She left this town because of a boy. Not a man, a boy, because girl was 17. Listen, when I was 17, I had not a very nice experience with a boy, okay? And said boy never grew up. He never became a man. He was always a boy. And was a stupid boy at that. Listen, I understand. I truly empathise with being hurt by a stupid boy. I really do. However, leaving a whole ass town for 9 years because of said stupid boy, when what he did wasn't nice, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a nice experience for a teenage girl. It's not a nice experience just at any age for what he did and what he said. It wasn't nice. However, by far one of the tamest reasons to run from your hometown I have ever heard. Maybe there's more to the story, but I don't think there is, because she literally told this other girl drunkenly the whole story. No one else knows it because she was so embarrassed. I'm sorry, in the nice, right, this is me empathizing with a man, and I'm really sorry for that, okay? But it could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse. Like, it was nasty, don't get me wrong, but it's stupid, privileged young boy stuff, and it's just not a reason to change your whole life plan and run away from a whole town. Like, girl, grow up, get a grip. Like, he is just a boy. Get over it. That might be me being really insensitive, and I do apologise. I don't even know how to... No, because I mean it. I'm not going to take it back. I do mean it. I need her to get a grip. I empathise with her. It must have been nasty. Don't get me wrong. But like I say, it wasn't the worst. I was expecting something so much worse. I think that's what it was. I was expecting something really bad to have happened. So I was really underwhelmed, and that's what's making me feel like, come on, get a grip. Like, for that to be the reason that she's... So I don't know. I'm going to give it a couple more chapters. I might DNF it though. Because as well, the revenge they're planning. Oh my god, it's boring. I'm sorry. The more I'm talking, the more I'm ready to DNF this book, actually. I'm going to go on Goodreads and look at non-spoiler reviews to see if anything convinces me to keep reading. This is a series now as well. I think the second one must be about one of the friends. I'm not being funny. There was 5 books in this series. Does it need to be 5 books? Okay, I'm sorry. On Goodreads, I had to double check this to make sure it was the one I was thinking it was. It says, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina meets the L Word. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That was dark as fuck. That was like in aesthetic and in vibes. It was a very dark book. This does not feel dark. This feels, I don't even know. It does not feel dark though. It's got an average of 3.58. Did Emily Henry write this 5 stars? That might be a reason to keep reading. Emily Henry rated this 5 stars. Okay, she's the first review on here. There's also a trigger warning, ghost possession. That's making me want to read it as well. You know I love a trigger warning. Oh, someone's, right, this person's put, this is John Tucker Must Die meets the Triwizard Tournament from Harry Potter. This person's called Baba Yaga Reads. I love that. Remember your high school crush, the one who broke your heart for the first time, the one who stood you up, cheated on you, or ghosted you for no apparent reason. Remember the hours you spent crying, feeling sorry for yourself, thinking you would never fall in love again. Now imagine basing all your life decisions on that guy, leaving your hometown, cutting ties with your friends and family, disappearing for nearly a decade just to make sure you don't accidentally bump into the fuckboy you briefly dated in junior year. That would be a ridiculous overreaction, wouldn't it? Yeah, she's put the dialogue felt very YA, which is I'm feeling. Because this is meant to be an adult book. It's not YA. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Okay, I'm going to read one more chapter and then I'm going to decide if I'm going to DNF. Because by the sounds of it, I'm not going to learn. Like, none of these have been spoilery. But by the sounds of it, I'm not going to learn a reason why we should hate this Gareth guy so much. To a point that grown adults, girls in their 20 something, like mid to late 20s, would be conspiring against this man in a really quite innocent way, to be honest, with this tournament thing. I'll read like another chapter or 2. Okay, I got 4 pages into the next chapter and I literally could not care less, so I am gonna DNF. I'm sorry. I just don't think this book is for me, and I think it's probably gonna be a hard DNF, not a soft. I don't think this is for me, period, not just right now. So that's disappointing. I know what book I'm gonna read next. I'm gonna read The Honey Witch. I've forgotten her name, who writes it, but that one's also a sapphic witchy romance, so maybe that one can redeem Payback's a Witch for being sapphic. So yeah, that's disappointing, but I really liked Wayward. We had a good start of the video. Fingers crossed tomorrow we really like The Honey Witch. Okay, it's like somewhere between 5 and 6 o'clock, I think. I think we're closer to 6 o'clock than 5, I'll be honest. And I have not started reading yet today, but we're gonna start now. So, we're starting with The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. We have sapphic, I'm guessing it's like a rom-com. We've got Marigold, who's a witch, and Lottie, who is a skeptic. I don't know if it's like forced proximity, because it's saying when Lottie's shows up on her doorstep. So I'm like, are they going to be living together? Also, apparently no one can fall in love with the honey witch, which is Marigold. So I'm like, why? Okay, I'm intrigued. Fingers crossed this was a lot better than yesterday and I actually like this one. Okay, I've got to be honest with you. I've listened to the majority of what I have read so far of this book. I'm on chapter 8, 74 pages in. And I think I've only read 2 chapters, like actually reading. The rest I've listened to. And I'm about to cook my tea and I'm probably going to listen to it then. I'm listening to it on 2.5 speed, which is the fastest I've ever listened to an audiobook on. Because I was reading this and I was like, I think I'm going to struggle to get into this if I don't listen to it. Because I kind of want to just get this read so it's done. That sounds awful. I don't want to DNF another book and I don't feel like I'm in the mood for this book. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm really not in the mood for this type of book right now. I think I'm in the mood for something just more of a regular fantasy, really. Something that's, I don't know. So far, we're following Marigold. This says on the back, it's like Bridgerton meets Practical Magic with a dash of The Secret Life of Bees. Okay, fair enough. So I don't know why from that I didn't think it would be set in the 1800s. Maybe because it's sapphic. I just didn't expect it to be set in a time when homophobia, like you were killed for being gay. I don't know. But it is set in the 1800s. That threw me off a little bit. I think there's also a gay couple in this, like 2 men. A man referred to someone as his partner, so I can only imagine. I can only assume so. So it's clearly alternate universe where being gay is okay. At that time, being gay is okay, and it should have been at that time. But that was not the case in real life. So that's good at least. But yeah, it threw me off because I wasn't expecting the time period, I'll be honest with you. So I kind of figured it was a bit like magical realism, and it is. I wouldn't say it's a fantasy, even though this is literally called a cozy romantasy. Like if there's witches, yes, technically it's fantasy. I don't know, it's a funny one because there's witchy romances where you wouldn't consider it a cozy romantasy necessarily, but maybe they are. I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading. I don't want to DNF this one because I DNF'd the last one, and I think I will enjoy this. This one at least isn't cringy, it's just not so far what I was expecting. There was this thing though where I was like, that makes literally no sense. So they're honey witches. And her grandma was like, what's the, like the opposite of light is dark, the opposite of fire is water. What's the opposite of honey? Ash. In what world is honey the opposite of ash? Please explain that to me. Please explain. You could have just had multiple types of witches and it happened to be that there was a feud between the honey and the ash witches. That would make sense. Not that there is 2 types of witches, either honey or ash, and because they're opposites, because I'm simply not seeing that. How is honey and ash opposite? I really don't know. I have barely read anything. I feel like I've listened to the majority of what I've actually read today, which I think I already said before, but I think I've literally read 2 chapters. Anyway, we are up to chapter 12. I have not listened or read this since about 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere around there. I was meant to go up to bed at 9 o'clock, get in bed, read, get all cozy and have maybe a nice early night and, you know, read another 50 to 60 pages in that hour. That has not happened. That's not happened. I was playing a game on my phone. I've gone upstairs and planned some TikTok content. Then I've just scrolled on TikTok. Needed a wee the whole time. Still need a wee, to be honest. But I thought I need to come down, get everything locked up, do this update, and then go for a wee and sort myself out. Anyway, first of all, okay, love the grandma. Okay, she loves some smut, so we stand the grandma. This Lottie, who was meant to be the love interest, who there is not even a smidgen of friendship or like. Marigold is like, every time she sees her, she's got this weird like feeling. She's kind of like fluttery about her, I don't know. But every time Lottie's just a bitch. Like, she's just so rude and bad-tempered for no reason. And like, I get it, she's meant to be a notorious, literally says in the back, a notoriously grumpy skeptic. I don't like her. And there's currently, like, we're 100 pages in, 112 pages in. This book is like 300, not even 350 pages. And you expect me to like her at any point? Like, you've got 240 pages left, roughly, maybe less, to get me to like her. I suppose that's a decent amount. I just currently don't like her. I don't know, she just doesn't seem romance worthy. So there's that. Also, Marigold was a little judgmental. Grandma had to put her in her place, which, like, we stand Grandma, honestly, we do. Because she was like making fun of this girl who wanted a nice lipstick because she wanted this guy to notice her. And she's like, oh, she's all like, tittery, wanted a guy to notice her. And she's like making fun of her to the grandma, right? And Grandma's like, why are you being mean? And she's like, well, because doesn't she not want more from her life? And the grandma's like, anything a woman wants, you should respect that. If a woman wants to get married and have kids, respect that. If a woman doesn't want to do that, respect that. So she's just like, respect what a woman wants, regardless of what it is. If she wants the heteronormative nuclear family life, then let her have it. So Grandma's standing on facts, and we stand. So Marigold was also a little bit of a bitch there, to be honest. She's like, well, I want more from my life. Like, currently she is lonely. Okay, this is the thing. This is where we're at right now. She's like, well, I want more from my life than to find love. And yet she's currently really lonely and was looking up spells to cure loneliness, which doesn't exist. So, like, maybe if you weren't so closed-minded and elitist about your own wants in life, you maybe wouldn't be so lonely. Just a thought, Marigold. Anyway, I am gonna go up to bed and I am gonna read maybe a chapter or two more. I was enjoying it more. I am actually quite enjoying the audiobook, but I know for a fact I do not have enough Spotify hours left to finish this book via the audio, I mean. So we'll see. Maybe I should actually start reading it though. I don't know what's going on with me lately. I would have thought I could read so much this month. And like, I have read a decent amount. I just feel like I should have read so much more this month. But the undiagnosed potential ADHD has really been ADHD. Like, I have zero attention span. And I also have zero want to do literally anything. Like, I could very easily just lie here, do nothing, and just sort of disassociate for days on end. And I'd hate myself for it, but like, it would be so easy. So we're trying not to do that. It's always this time of night as well, I get energy, it's so annoying. Like, can I not have this energy at 10 AM? And then I could be productive. No, instead I feel ill at 10 AM, and at 9:30 I suddenly go, oh, energy, there you are. And then I can't sleep and I can't get an early night. And then I wake up and it all happens again. Anyway. Oh, I need to take my makeup off as well. And I'm wearing, this top is so uncomfortable. It's got like a band thing, because it's got like a built-in bra. Oh my god, I've been uncomfortable for hours. I ate my tea and I was like, oh my god, this is like so uncomfortable. I need to take this off. Okay, I'm going to bed. I'll see you in the morning. We're in the final stretch of the book. I've got about 60-ish pages left. Let's get this finished. I've listened to the majority of this book, I will not lie to you, but I'm gonna make an effort to physically read the rest of it. So let's see how we do. I'm like honestly fighting asleep right now. I cannot stop blinking. I feel like I just want to go. I'm like nodding off and I've only got like 40 pages left. It's 40 pages too many. Oh my god. Okay. well, I finished. That was like the weirdest book for me because I was kind of bored the whole time, but I also wanted to know what happened. And I kind of liked the characters, but I also kind of didn't. Like, I didn't like Lottie at first. And then they kind of explained that away so that you kind of have to forgive her. It's not her fault, but I don't know. I'm going to give it a 3 stars. I recommend it. It was cozy. It was witchy. I liked the atmosphere of the, like, where everything took place. And I like how it was, like, it was quite a unique, like, spin on magic and witches. But it was fine. It wasn't, like, especially good. I wasn't especially invested. And I didn't really believe in the romance very much. So I'll give it a 3 stars. And I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. Well, we've had, what did I rate Wayward again? A 4.5, I want to say? We've had a 4.5. We've had a DNF and we've had a 3 stars. It's been a weird video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad it's over. I'm not gonna read another book to pad out this video because it's been the weirdest week for me. Aside from Wayward, I just have not enjoyed reading and I don't want to continue filming and force something that I'm not feeling. I've kind of had to force it with this book. But I also did want to continue reading. It's been a weird one. So I think I need to leave this video here. Because I don't, like I said, I don't want to force it if it's not happening. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit weird in its tone and its feeling, but I still hope you enjoyed it regardless. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't already. Let me know what you thought of Wayward or Paperbacks of Witch or The Honey Witch. If you've read any 3 of the books that I have read in this video, please let me know what you thought of them and their ratings in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!